it's a rare rainy day here in Sun City, Arizona, as I stand in front of this very quiet house in this extremely quiet neighborhood. But inside, things are not quiet. In fact, there are some revolutionary ideas being hatched that could change our understanding of the universe. Let's go investigate. Rodney Cluff from Our Hollow Earth.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. This is revelatory. I had always learned in science class that the Earth was not hollow, that it was filled with magma and molten nickel, but you say no.
Yeah, the scientists, they all claim that the Earth is partially molten and partially solid.
So the problem is that they're basing their interpretation on science.
Well, whenever there's a large earthquake and it caused the earth to ring like a bell, and you can find this in all the scientific literature, that whenever there's a large earthquake, the earth rings like a bell. And what is a bell?
Literally like a bell, like bong?
Bong, yeah. And the bell is hollow.
So if the Earth isn't full of what the scientists say it is, then what's down there? What is inside the Earth?
Well, the hollow Earth theory is that the Earth is hollow. There is space inside the Earth. That the shell of the Earth is only about 800 miles from the outside to the inner surface. And from there to the center of the Earth is space. Of course, the atmosphere goes up a little ways.
So it's just empty down there? It's just darkness?
Well, actually, the integral part of the hollow Earth theory is that suspended in the center of the Earth, there is a small sun that provides light and life to the interior world.
What kind of life?
Part of the hollow Earth theory is that near the poles there are openings that go into the interior. We call them the polar openings, one near the North Pole and one near the South Pole. And there are accounts of several people that have claimed to have either flown through there like Admiral Byrd, or gone in a ship like Olaf Jansen, a Norwegian, or flown there in a flying saucer like Wilhelm Schmidt.
Flying saucer?
Yes.
So are there people living in hollow Earth right now?
That's the account that they have brought back. Olaf Jansen, he went in his ship in 1829. He lived there 2 years. He says that the people are a giant stature of between 7 and 15 feet tall. They have flying saucer technology. I think they've prevented nuclear war. Their leader is a king, is actually a prophet. They had grapes that were as big as peaches, and apples as big as your head. There's also these lost Viking colonists that went to the hollow Earth, and the God of the ancient Israelites. Hitler and his people after the war may have escaped to the hollow Earth. And,
right, okay, so you got Jews down there, you got Hitler down there, you got Vikings down there, and they're all getting along?
Apparently so, because
why would they let a guy like Hitler in the hollow Earth?
They're cousins. The Germanic peoples are cousins of the Vikings.
Well, I've got cousins that I hate, though. I wouldn't even let them in my house, let alone in the hollow Earth. So now you are planning a trip to go to hollow Earth yourself.
Well, you know, I was contacted by Steve Curry of Provo, Utah several years ago, and he says, has anybody planned an expedition to the hollow Earth? And I said, yeah, there's been several people that have tried, but nothing has ever come of it. And so we put together, and I an expedition. But right when we were ready to leave, we were going to do an exploratory flight, and he got cancer and died. He got brain cancer. He came back from South America a year ago in April, and he went in to check out with the doctors, and they said he had 6 tumors.
Could this not be more evidence that the Lord doesn't want you to go down there, Rodney?
Well, my opinion is it may be caused by some ulterior people in the military or in the black projects. Dr. Greer says that they have aimed these beams at him. And
Stephen Greer from the Disclosure
Stephen Greer,
Project.
yeah. So he's got cancer in the brain also and had to have it operated out. He has survived.
Oh, aren't you scared that they're going to come after you?
No, actually I'm not.
Shouldn't you be? Well, I, for one, want to go with you on the voyage to the Hollow Earth. But perhaps we can go over to some of your charts over there and you can show me exactly where you think it is. And then we can plan our trip.
Sure.
Okay, let's go. So now, with this expedition, and when is this going to take place, the newest expedition?
Well, our estimate is next summer, but it's all depending on the funding. Dr. Brooks Agnew is talking with investors that want to invest in the expedition for the film rights and then selling them all over the world when we come back. So
that's going to be a pretty popular movie. You think the Titanic was popular?
I'm king of the underworld!
This is going to be huge.
Well, especially if we find some evidence of the polar opening.
Who's going to play you in the movie?
Well,
Dermot Mulroney?
This is going to be a documentary.
I see.
So it's going to be like a Discovery Channel documentary.
So you're going to get on the boat up here and travel this way. And how many people are on the boat with you?
We have room for 100 people that besides the crew, which is about another 100 or so people.
So then we come down here, and the icebreaker breaks through the crust,
the ice,
and hopefully, if this global warming thing keeps going, I mean, you're probably the only guy rooting for global warming.
It would be good, yes.
And you estimate that the hole in the North Pole is where?
Okay, my estimate is that from around the Arctic, several explorers, especially starting with Perry, when he went to the pole in 1909, he got up on this island in Ellesmere Island and looked out over the ocean towards the northwest, and he saw a mirage of land out there. And then the Russians, they have this. They've sighted this land north of the New Siberian Islands for years, and they call it Sannikov land.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where's Santa Claus's joint? Is that up here? He doesn't exist.
Santa Claus.
Well, Rodney, I want in. I want to get on that boat, and I want to go to Hollow Earth with you. How can I do that?
Okay, well, we are still accepting applications on our expedition website. You can go to ourhollowearth.com, and there's a link right there on my homepage that takes you to our expedition website. The expedition website is hosted by Dr. Brooks Agnew. He's our expedition organizer now. He's a physicist. He has a doctor's degree in science, and he has lots of experience managing big projects. And
is he the guy who's going to decide who gets to go on the boat and who doesn't?
Exactly.
Do you think that he'll let me on?
Well,
I got to have some pull because I know you. We're buddies, right?
The previous expedition members have been okayed, approved to go, because we were on the previous expedition plans of going with Steve Curry. But everybody else has to meet with his approval.
Come on, man. Cut me some slack here. Let me on the boat.
And you can submit your application.
Give me a yes right now.
You can submit your application on his website, but he has total control.
I want to go.
He has total control over whoever decides to go.
All right. Well, maybe a letter of recommendation from you, at least.
Well, You know, he has already chosen the filming crew and the film distribution
I'm not getting on that
companies.
boat. I can feel it. You're basically you're just trying to
So,
be polite, but you're not going to let me on that boat.
I really have no say. You can submit your application, and Dr. Agnew can make the decision if you can go.
All right.
But
I
you know,
see how it's going to be.
if there was any room, I would recommend you.
Thank you.
If
Rodney.
if Dr. Agnew would approve.
Rodney Cluff, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. I can't wait to see you on the boat.
Okay.